welcome back to our Song of the Month. I looked back through some of our previous Songs of the Month and I noticed that we haven't done any traditional fiddle tunes in a while. And those are a staple of our traditional repertoire, and so I thought I'd pick a somewhat unusual one. Stoney Point. Stoney Point is played a lot by old-time players and bluegrass players, but we don't hear a lot of dulcimer players doing that. And so we're going to fix that. So this is a fun and happy tune, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So here is your instructional video for the easier version. First off, we're going to be in the key of G. And it's very repetitive with these 2 and 3 note patterns. So here's the first one. B, A, G. And then you're going to add on to that the G an octave higher and then the D after it. And since those are 3 downbeats, I do them all with my dominant hand. Now I'm pretending to be right-handed, but I'm really not. So play that first phrase. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum. I turn on a little more light for us. Let's see if this helps. A little bit. Alright, then we have another ba-da-dump. And this time it's E, D, B. And then the next 6 notes are all of those notes, sort of. So we're going to go down G, E, D, B, A, B. G, E, D, B, A, B. Now when you do this, you'll need to use really smart hand crossing guides. So that is, when you have 2 Ds and that note falls on a right hand, you play the right option. So, right hand, right side. If you didn't, you could be tempted to cross your hammers here, or then you'd have to go down into your D box here. So, best to stay horizontally in that little box. So what you just did is a quarter of the whole song. Here's that whole first phrase. Here's the same thing for lefties. And then we're on to measure 3. It starts off the same. Oops, sorry, right-handed. All of that's the same. The difference is then you're going to do 2 Bs, A, G, E, F sharp. So here's that second phrase. So let's play the first line of the A part together. Going on into measure 5 is the same question phrase again. It's exactly the same as measure 1 and 2. And then that leaves the measure before the endings. So that's an easy one that goes G up to D. And then B, C, D, then B, C, D, B. So it's just descending thirds. D, B, A, C, B, G. And then you have pickup notes to repeat. And then in the second ending, instead of doing this, it's just an A. And that takes us to the B part. So the B part is fun, and it's syncopated. So there's a couple ways to do this. Technically, if you're going to be strictly right-handed, you would do right, left, left, right, because the second and third notes are the ands of the beats. Easy. And then we have a 1, 2, 3, 1 pattern. Starting on F sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 1. And then we're going to walk down from G. And that's the whole question phrase. And then I just did a left-handed pattern there. So it should be, and just like before, but instead of walking G down to D, it's G, B. Then you ask the question again. Whoa, I don't know what that was. And then measure before the first ending starts off like the question. And then we're just going to tie it up with a nice little bow. F, G, A, F, G. Where all the F's are sharp. And then you repeat. I'll be left-handed for the lefties. Second ending. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's, as I said in the Patreon meeting, it's one that you can't really not be happy when you play it. So have fun with it and stick around for next month. And next up here is the intermediate version. Alright, here's the instructional version for the intermediate version of Stoney Point. Let's get to it. Alright, so this has a bunch of 3-note patterns. B, A, G, G-E-D, E-D-B, G-E-D, B-A-B. So here's all of those back to back. B-A-G, G-E-D. Notice right hand, right side. The next one, E-D-B. So right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Moving on, we have G-E-D-B-A-B. Now here's the same thing left-handed. Left hand, left side. Right hand, right side. So that's the question phrase, and then the answer kind of is a restatement of the question. So that part's the same. The difference is we're going to go bum, dwa, dee, da, doo, doo, dum. So two B's. And the second B has a flam. So you're going to flam the A just before the beat. So I'll do the left-handed version first. The A hits first, the B is the higher hand. So, if you're righty, you always want the principal melody note to be the highest. So I raised it, and then I'm going to raise the A flammed note, the grace note. It's going to be quite a bit lower. So you should have a sound effect of bam, flam, bum, ba. Bam, flam. And then good news if you like patterns and repetitions, in measure 5 and 6 it's an exact replica of the first and second measures. So let's start at the beginning and stop at measure 6. 1 and 2 and 3. Now the measure before the first and second endings, super easy. You just walk from G straight up to a D. And then B, C, D. Then B, A, C. B, G. For lefties. Okay, and then you have a triplet to get you back to the A part again. So when I do triplets at speed, you have two options. You could either do right, left, and then recover your right hand lead on B2. So you're just doing a right, left, right, left. But the problem with that, obviously, is that your downbeat falls on your non-dominant hand. So what I tend to do is I'll do left, right, left, left. You get the idea. So that's the A part. Now, here is the B part. You have a pickup note A, which is the last note of the second ending. So the second time through, here's that B part. Now because of the syncopation, you should do right, left, left. Because both the E and the D are upbeats, and those go on the non-dominant hand. And then the E-G will be the dominant hand. And then we have a 1, 2, 3 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3 patterns. If you number these notes, 1, 2, and 3, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1. That happens all the time in fiddle tunes, especially. And then G walks down to D. Then you ask the question again. And this is like saying, huh? Then you ask the question again in measure 14. Just like measure 11 above. The next measure is the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right, left, right, left, right. That's it. That's the entire song. So it's repetitive, but it's fun and bouncy. It reminds me a lot of one of the tunes from Hoedown from Rodeo. But it's the middle song. I wonder if this would actually be a good medley for that. I bet it would. Anyhow, thanks for sticking around. I will see you next month with a brand new arrangement for you. Up next is the advanced version. Alright, here is the advanced version. And I've been saying that you can't play this song and not be happy. And I think that's true until maybe you get to the acrobatics needed for this one. So this one, you might have to work a little bit for, but it follows very stereotypical patterns for bluegrass, blues, and ragtime. And so that is the idea that you'll use blue notes. So if we're in the key of G, the blue notes are where you lower the third note, and you lower the fifth note, and you lower the seventh note often, but I don't do that in this particular arrangement. So that's why you're going to see a lot of B flats. You'll see some D sharps. And I guess I do lower the F sharps. So there's a couple places where there are F naturals. For instance, in... where is that measure? I'm looking. Aha, there it is. The last measure of the third line. So that's what I'm doing, and I wanted the advanced version to show how you would arrange a tune like this. You'll play the head, they call it, which is the straight ahead version of the song. That would be like the easier or intermediate version, and then you play around with that, improvising some of these blues kind of notes and improvising on the chords. And so I've written that out for you just to give you an idea. I think it makes it more fun, but you will have to take it slowly while you figure it out. So the first few measures are just like the other versions, so you should watch those and maybe get the intermediate version down before you try this one. So I'm not going to reteach that, so I'm just going to play the beginning until it's different. Starting in the intermediate version, I introduced that flam. lefties. So I'm hammering it so that my principal melody note B is higher than the flammed grace note. That's the flam. Here's the right-handed flam. So, and then I'm going to keep going. So if you're looking at your music, this is marked as measure 23 for some reason. So, second line. Now, here in the second measure, we're going to do some wiggles on the B. So I do B, then I do B flat, then I do B. So my advice, my recommendation is to get good at crossing your hands. Now normally we avoid that, but we always avoid it until we can't. And this is not so fast that you can't do this clean. So it's B, B flat, B, E. Now if I can do that and I'm a lefty, it should be easy for you right-handed players. Now if you are left-handed and you are doing this, that B flat actually falls on your left or on your right hand, so you don't have to cross your hands. Which reminds me of another thing. When you're doing something like this that's bluesy and improvised, I just wrote out my improvisation. You're going to have troubles if you're left-handed and a B flat falls on the, what am I trying to say? If you're right-handed and the B flat falls on the end of the beat, because that's going to require your left hand. So that's why you have to get good at doing that. If you're a lefty, we're going to have problems when the downbeat is a B flat and the end of the beat is that. So you might also want to play around with reversing them. So instead of B, B flat, B, you could maybe, if you're right-handed, make the downbeat a B flat and then go up to B. Regardless, you should get used to crossing your hands when you have to. So here is that phrase. Pick up into the second line. And then I'll do the same thing for lefties. Third measure, easy. You just walk straight up to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for righties, and then that next note is an upbeat. That B falls on the left hand. So we're going to do B, C, C sharp, D. That's the flat fifth note, and then the fifth note. Here's that whole phrase. And then we have a triplet. So B, B flat, A, G. What I do with triplets in fiddle tunes is I'll do right, left, right, right, or left, right, left, left. So that way I can stay left-handed, because triplets are an odd number and I have an even number of hands. So right, left, right, right. So that's a little awkward. Maybe you could do right, right, then left. Another option would be the other rule I mentioned, which is if you're right-handed and the B flat's going to fall on the left hand, see what it sounds like to reverse them. So instead of B, B flat, and maybe if I do that, then maybe instead of an A, I would play a D. Lefties, I do left, right, left, left. Alright, now we're on to the third line. It starts off like the first line. Now this is different. So I was just now being left-handed. Notice for left-handed playing, I had to swing like this, do the little windshield wipers to avoid crossing my hands. Now, the right-handed way. Oh. Super easy, because the chromatic note falls on the right hand, which is on the right side. There we have another flam. And then here's another chromatic run. A, B, C, C sharp, D. So these three, and these two. And then I would cross my hands ever so carefully to get that E, F, F sharp, G. Here it is again. Lefties. That's a bit of a crossing. Not too bad, especially if you get used to getting out of your own way and doing windshield wipers. So when I'm done with that note, it comes off to the side, and that one hits from the side. Okay, now we are on the fourth line. Oops, I looked at the wrong line. So that one's pretty easy for righties. Lefties, you'll have I don't really call that a hands crossing, I call that a windshield wiper. And then this is the third measure of the fourth line. Just like before. Just like before, the only difference is instead of ending with a triplet, you just have a A, B flat, B. So for righties, I wouldn't play the A here and then have a big old cross. I would move the A over here, and then windshield wiper. And then so whenever you have two notes at once, you're temporarily neither-handed. But then you have to recover your dominant hand lead right away. So normally, if you were just playing a single note, you would have right, left. So that means that second note needs to be a left hand. If you're right-handed. Lefties. Together right. Now let's go back for righties. Then left. Right hand, right side for that E. And then I'm going to swoop over and I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, windshield wiper, because I got to get to that B flat. Now I have a B flat over here. You probably have one here. Then you do it again. Oh, right-handed. I just turn it around a bit. Ba-ba-dum, ba-da-ba-dee-bum. And then here's the third measure of that sixth line. So that's kind of playing around with, those are kind of the notes of the E minor blues scale, and we're kind of in E minor for this section. So lefties. Then the next part is the written out repeat of the B part, because I don't want to just do a repeat. I want to do it differently each time. And then together again, together, and then left. Now here I start a fun pattern of taking the E minor chord and preceding each note of the arpeggio with a half step lower. So I gotta get back into that. Let's see. So, admittedly, that's a little awkward if you're right-handed, but not impossible. So if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm left-handed. Now, if you're left-handed, piece of cake. Which makes sense because I'm left-handed and I thought of this pattern. So what you could do is play around with that idea and make it your own if you're right-handed, and maybe see what it would sound like if you reverse those chromatic notes. So what if you did... I mean, it's cool. Not quite the same effect, but I like it. Regardless, let's look at the last two measures of that line. It ends with, and then I do a quick A, B flat, B. If you don't have a B flat here and it's over here, you might have to, or maybe start with your left hand just for that lick. And then go back to left or right hand lead. So that's the same idea. So I'm taking the E minor notes and lowering them a half step, then coming back. Now the same thing for the B7 chord. Here's the F sharp, F, F sharp. E minor again. there's, to top it all off, E, D, B flat, B. So it's super fun, and I think you're going to really enjoy the challenges that it brings, and it'll make you a better player. So stick around, and I'll see you next month, and thanks again for your continued support. See ya.